Hey there, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and here you have one of, I think, the most sought after sets that is out of production with Strat-O-Magic. Strat-O-Magic, has a ton of sets that are out of production, the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and so forth. But I think this is one of the top most sought after sets with 72, 76, 74. And basically 86, probably 85 and 84. I think those are some of the years that are most kind of popular and hard to get and can be pretty expensive. This is the 1970 set, and what I'm going to do here today is play game one of the 1970 season. The Mets are fresh off a miracle season where they win the World Series. They beat the highly favored Baltimore Orioles in 5 games in the World Series, and Tom Seaver really appears as the leader and if not the best pitcher in baseball at this time with the season he had in '69. Well, these high hopes, and the same team is brought back in 1970 hoping to repeat the miracle of '69, and this is game one, and it will be Tom Seaver, and here's his card versus Steve Blass of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And as you can see, the 1970 set is before they had the lefty-righty split side, so there is no lefty-righty split side there. It's blank. So this is a classic set, and I'm trying to get, some of the teams have extra players, some don't, so I'm trying to pick up the extra players. So I'm involved in that right now and see how that goes. But let's start off an inning here and get a feel for Strat-O-Magic Basic. Strat-O-Magic Basic, I have this basic chart of fielding X chart, if you will, and I have this laminated. It's got 2 sides, and I'll be using that. And then for the hit and runs, and infield in, hit and run, infield in, and bunts are the sacrifices. I'll be using this chart as well. All right, so let's get started. Let's roll some dice. We need some. Let's see what we got going here. Gotta find some dice. I did not grab any dice. I need a couple of D6s. Okay. 2 D6. These are double D6s, by the way. And then 1 D20. I believe it's 1 D20. I'm used to playing advanced, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so you have the 1, 2, 3 column off the batter and the 4, 5, 6 column off the pitcher, and let's do it. See what happens. All right, so it's going to be a 6 column, so that's going to be off the pitcher's card, and you add up the 2 blues, it's a 5, and that's going to be a 1-2 split triple. And what I have here, which is kind of cool, and I'll go super duper old school. Look at these. These are pretty cool. So I'm going super duper old school here. 1970, going back to when they didn't roll the D20. Let me make sure I have all the numbers. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I do have 20, and that's what we'll do. We'll be pulling those up, I guess. The only thing is, you got to keep on, shuffling, because if you don't, then you're never going to have two of the same numbers come up in a row. So let's pull a card and see what happens. So 1 and a 2 would be a triple, and a 3 to 20 is a single, and it's a 14. So that's line base hit for Tommy Agee. And I didn't go over the Mets lineup. It's going to be Agee, the center fielder, Harrelson, the 6, the shortstop, Foy, the third baseman, Jones is in left field, Shamsky is at first base, Swoboda is in right, Garrett is at second base, Grody is the catcher, and Tom Seaver is the pitcher. All right, so we'll put that over. We'll kind of shuffle that in the middle somewhere. Just mess around with it a little bit. All right. So we got a single, AG's on it first. We're not going to do anything here. Now we could try to steal. He's an 8 base stealer. Does it say how many stolen bases he had on the card? No, it does not. So you don't really know. I like to, so I'm not going to really steal right now. So, and I'm not gonna, it's too early to do anything. I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm just going to roll for Buddy Allison. Here's the pitch from Steve Blass, and here is a 5, column 5, so it's on the pitcher's side, and a 4 is going to be a ground ball. Third base X, so the third baseman is Richie Hebner. Lou is in center field. Right fielder is Clemente, and left field is Stargell. The first baseman is Oliver. Ali is the shortstop. Catcher is May. Mazeroski is the second baseman, and the pitcher is Blass. So the third baseman is Hebner. Let's take a look at what Hebner's got on his card. Richie Hebner is a 4 third baseman. So what we're going to do is going to check this thing. We're going to pull a, he's a 4, so we're going to look in this column here. We're going to pull a card. And it's another 14. All right. So it's a 1 base error. So Hebner boots it, and that puts runners on first and second. This is a pretty cool scorecard. I like this one. I like the setup. All right, so we got 2 14s in a row that we picked, so we don't need to have any more 14s for a while. All right, so now it's going to be Joe Foy coming up. And that again is a 5, so it's off of Steve Blass's 5 column. And it's a 7, which is going to be a strikeout. So he gets Foy with a curveball, and that's 1 away. Oh, wait a second. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so Cleon Jones is up. I looked off the pitcher card, so it doesn't matter that I didn't look off the batter card in that instance. But it's Cleon Jones now, who is the cleanup batter for the Mets in 1970. This is an out of production. Again, a 5. I think I've rolled 3 5s in a row. With a 7 is going to be a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks. So Jones strikes out. Foy strikes out. And here comes... And I'll probably, if I play another game with these, I'll probably get them in some sort of sleeve to protect them. And here comes Art Shamsky, Mets first baseman. And this time is a 6. So again, and a 4 is a home run 1-9, a double 10-20. So the Mets have an opportunity here to score some runs with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. And let's do that. Actually, let's pull the card and let's see what happens. It is an 11, and that just missed being a home run. That's off the top of the wall. And it doesn't tell me how many scores, so I'm allowed to try to score Harrelson. And with 2 outs, I will try to score Harrelson. Let's look at his speed. His speed is 1-16. There are 2 outs, so I'll add a 1 for that. So it'll be 17. Let's pull a card. And it's a 19. He's out. So he throws him out. And I guess that was to the center fielder. So it's going to be an 8-4-2. He's out at the plate, but 1 run scores on the RBI double. And the Mets are up 1-0 thanks to Art Shamsky. 2 out clutch double. Unfortunately, the runner's thrown out there. And that's it with the top of the first. I'll be back with more. Hey there, so we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And it's going to be Bill Mazeroski, Steve Blass, and Matty Alou against Tom Terrific. And there you can see Tom Terrific's card. He's got a pretty devastating column 6. So that's 1 out of 3 columns, and that's going to be lights out pretty much. All the way from 5 to 10 is a strikeout. So right now the score here in the bottom of the third is 1-0. The only run that was scored was really an unearned run. It was a single, an error, and 2 strikeouts. That would have ended the inning, but the 5th batter doubled home Agee. And then it was Harrelson who was thrown out at the plate by the center fielder, Matty Alou, on that to end the inning there. So let's roll some dice for Bill Mazeroski. 229 average, not a really good hitter. It's a 2 and a 5, and that's going to be a ground ball and through for a base hit. So the 229 hitter actually connects, and he's on with a single. So what we're going to do now with the pitcher coming up, he's a pitcher batting card 1. So we are going to bunt with him. And let's see, we're hitting right as the basic bunt sacrifice is right here. Okay, this is it right there. So we're going to roll 2d6 and add them up. It's a 12, so batter pops out into a double play. Lead runner is out, and other runners hold. So it's a double play pop-up. Caught by the catcher, Grodian whips it to first, and they get Bill Mazeroski. So that is a 2-2-3 double play. And there's 2 outs. And here comes Matty Alou. Well, he made out in the first at bat. And it's a 4, so that is going to be off Seaver. And a 6 is going to be, a 1-4 double, 5-20 single. We're going to pull a card, see what happens. And it's a 17, so that's going to be a single for Matty Alou. So a 2-out single. So that's 3 hits Seaver's allowed in this game. Still have not tried to steal any bases or anything. Just playing very kind of conservatively right now. Just bunted once, and it didn't work out for me. Bunted into a double play. So in the bottom of the third, 1-0 Mets, 2 outs, and Matty Alou is on at first. Here's Richie Hebner. All right, that's going to be a column 3, which is off Hebner's card, and 11 is going to be a fly ball racing into Swoboda, and Swoboda tracks it down to retire the side. So no runs, 2 hits. And 1 left, and we move to the top of the 4th here at in Pittsburgh. So we are in the bottom of the 4th inning, and check out Bobby Clemente's card. Clemente batted .352, hit 14 home runs, 10 triples, 22 doubles, 38 walks, and 66 strikeouts. So I'd say column 3 is pretty devastating. And column 1 also will definitely be have a good offensive effect on the game as well. So let's see what we roll here. Tom Seaver versus Roberto Clemente, a classic matchup. And that is going to be off Clemente. The 1 and a 5 is going to be a 1-8 home run and a 9-20 double. So he gets into one here and drives it deep, and a 17. And that's going to be 1 hop off the base of the wall. Played nicely there by the center fielder who's out there, Tommy Agee. Clemente's digging for second. Here's the throw, the tag from Harrelson, and he is safe with a leadoff double. The score is 1-0 Mets, and the Pirates have the tying run at second base and Roberto Clemente. So what hurt Seaver was that he left a kind of hanger there on column 1, and column 1 with the 5 just missed a home run there by very little. All right, so let's see what happens. Here's Willie Stargell in the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Mets. 1970 out of production baseball card set, so one-sided set. This is opening day, so again, it's off the pitcher, off the batter column, and it's going to be 9, and a 9 is a deep drive off the bat of Stargell to right field. Back goes the right fielder Swoboda to the track, to the wall, and that's out of here. Willie Stargell connects on, wait a second, a 1-9. Yep, that is a straight up home run. If it was a 3-9, it would have been a 1-4 home run, but on a 1-9 is straight up, and the score is 2-1 Pirates. So 2 bad pitches by Seaver relinquishes the lead for the Mets, and here comes Al Oliver, the first baseman. Now, if it's the first game of the season and the Pirates have committed 3 errors, and Oliver is one who has an error, again, it's off the batter card, and that's a 5, which is a fly ball to center field. Can of corn for AG. Here's Gene Alley, the shortstop. Also plays second base and third base. He batted .244 with 16 doubles, 5 triples, and 8 home runs. Pitch from Seaver. Again, it's off the batter card, and it's going to be a pop-up. Middle of the field, shallow right center field, and backing up is the second baseman, Garrett. And Garrett makes the catch, 2 down. So Alley pops up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And next is May, who's 0 for 1. Again, off the batter card, and that's a 2 and an 8, which is grounded to the third baseman, Foy. He gloves it, fires to first, and in time to retire the side. But the Pirates pick up a couple of big runs on the 2-run shot by Willie Stargell. And Stargell in 1970 hit a ton of home runs. From my memory, he had 31 home runs, which is a ton for that period of time, that era. So we are going to the top of the 5th. The Mets are now down a run, and let's see what happens. We'll be back. So here's that matchup again, Tom Seaver versus Roberto Clemente, 1970. These are out of production classic cards. Hard to get, hard to find. Pretty expensive. So last time up, Clemente doubled, and then Stargell homered, and it put the Pirates up 2-1 over the Mets. It was in the bottom of the 5th when Mazeroski led off with a home run, making the score 3-1. And Seaver's got 4 strikeouts so far. So let's roll some dice. And Strat-O-Magic Classic. Remember, these cards only have one side to them. They haven't come up with a second side yet. So this is a historic set for sure. And that is going to be a 6 and an 11. And that is going to be a fly ball left field X. Jones is a 2 outfielder. So we're going to pull one of these little cards. And it's a 6 on a 2 is going to be a catch in left field by Cleon Jones. So Clemente is retired by Tom Terrific, 2 Hall of Famers right there. And here's another 2 Hall of Famers, another Hall of Famer that the Hall of Famer Seaver's facing, Willie Stargell. And that is a 2. And the 3 is a fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Swoboda to the track and makes the catch, 2 down. Here's Al Oliver with 2 out. In the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Pirates. And it's a 4. This is going to be off Seaver's card. A 4-4 is strike 3, and that is Seaver's 5th strikeout of the game. That will retire the side. We are headed to the top of the 7th. So Seaver here in the bottom of the 8th is right about to get replaced. He gave up a leadoff double off his 6th column. It was either a home run or a double, so Richie Hebner got into one there and drove it down the line into the corner for a double. Then we walked Roberto Clemente to put runners on first and second with nobody out for Willie Stargell. So we do have Taylor and McGraw warming up in the bullpen. Let's see, one more hit, one more walk, and Seaver is in trouble for sure. And he may get pulled. Let's see what happens. Remember, it's a 3-1 score. Pittsburgh is up, so that's going to be a 5 column off Seaver. And a 6 is going to be a fly ball left field. And I don't think anybody advances on that fly ball left field. No, that's only if there's a runner on third. So 1 out. Here is Al Oliver. Al Oliver today is struck out, flied out to center, and struck out. So he struck out twice and flied out once. Here's the pitch from Tom Terrific. All right, that's a 6 column, his best column. And an 8 is strike 3. He blows a fastball by Oliver. And he heads back to the bench with the bat on his shoulder. A little disappointed because they could break the game open right here with runners on first and second, but Seaver's come back strong, reached back for a little extra and gotten Stargell to fly out to left and Oliver to strike out. And here comes Gene Alley. He's a 244 hitter, 16 doubles, 5 triples, 8 home runs. So let's see if Seaver can get out of this situation. Playing Strat-O-Magic Basic in 1970. Hard to get set, probably maybe the hardest to get out of all the sets. The guys that have these don't like to get rid of them. And it's going to be a 5 again, that's off Seaver, and a 7 is going to be a 1 to 4. It's hit hard, hit on the screws, and right at the second baseman, he goes up for it, and base hit, and that will, no, they're going to hold. It was hit so hard, and the center fielder, Agee, was positioned perfectly. They will hold Hebner at third. So it's a line single that just went off the top of Wayne Garrett's glove. He timed his leap, but did not get up high enough. And on that 5, as you can see, the 7 is a line out to second base or a single 1 to 4, and we pulled the 4. You didn't see that, but let me see if I can bring that up here. I'll put these up here so you can see them a little bit better. There you go. So we pull the 4. We're using the cards, not the D20. We're going real old school here. We're going rubbing 2 sticks together in the cave. Having fun here on a Memorial Day. Playing a basic classic game, Strat-O-Magic. Didn't go wrong. Brought lots of guys, lots of fun for a very, very long time. So it deserves its praise. All right, so 2 outs, bases loaded, and here's May. I believe, it doesn't matter if he's a righty or a lefty in this game because they don't come up with the splits until the following year, and they'll go on the back, and it'll start looking like this sort of thing. Not at the beginning. Later on, it'll develop into this sort of thing right here with the 2 colors and the versus righties versus lefties. At first, it's just very simple. That's my 77 set, by the way. All right, so I'm thinking, do I bring in a reliever here, or do I let Seaver probably go the last batter? He is due up next inning, so let's do that. Let's let Seaver face Jerry May, the catcher for the Pirates, who batted 209, 140 at bats. Now you definitely need some extra players. I only have 3 hitters on the bench for the Mets. That's it. So there's not many changes I can make, and I think only 8 pitchers. And that includes, of course, 4 starters. So anyway, let's do it. All right, it's column 2. That's off May. And an 8 is going to be a ground ball hit hard. Oh, nice play by Foy at third. And he steps on the bag to retire the side. And that ends the inning. But the Pirates leave the bases loaded. They come up with a couple of hits, a couple more hits against Seaver. Seaver allowed 7, 9, 10 hits in this game. So he hasn't been as sharp as we know that he can be. But it is the first game of the season, so it's expected that maybe he's a little rusty. And here's going to be Steve Blass, who's going to try to go the distance. And we're going to have a pinch hitter in this inning, so we're going to have to go into the extra players. There's only 3. This game saw Boswell and Clendenin pinch hit. So we don't need unless there's somebody on. If there's somebody on, we'll bring up Clendenin. Otherwise, we will let Kenny Boswell hit. Kenny Boswell batted 54, 13 doubles, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. But the first batter is going to be Wayne Garrett. This is the last inning. Let's straighten out the camera. There you go. All right, there we go. Here goes. And that is a 2, column 2 on Wayne Garrett, and a 5 is going to be a fly ball. Driven in the gap, right center field. On the run is Alou, and Alou tracks it down for out number 1. So the Mets are down to their last 2 outs of the ball game. Here's Jerry Grody, who's reached twice on errors. He's 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. We're going to roll that again. A foul ball, a souvenir for Lucky Fan. And that's a 1, again, off Grody. And an 8 is going to be a split, double, or single. So he drives one in the gap. And let's see what happens. And it's going to be a 14. It's going to get cut off by the center fielder, Alou. And he's going to stop at first base. So Grody's on at first. And here comes Tom Seaver, but we're going to bring up that pinch hitter. And like we said, if there was a runner on base, we're going to bring the power-hitting Don Clendenin, who hit 22 home runs in 1970 for the Mets. So it's going to be the power-hitting Don Clendenin versus Steve Blass. And we get some action in the bullpen for the Pirates, but we're going to let Blass go here. So let's write in Clendenin. Pinch hitter. And I just write top of 9. There you go. All right, here goes. Now home runs. We can get a home run out of column 2. So we want to roll a column 2 for Clendenin. And there's a column 6 here for Blass to tie this ball game up in the top of the 9th. What's going to happen? We don't know until we roll the dice. All right, we got a column 6, which works out. But unfortunately, it's a fly ball to deep left field. Back goes, who's out there? Stargell to the track and hauls it in. So Clendenin got a hold of one, drove it deep, but did not carry. The wind must be blowing in out here in Pittsburgh. And Tommy Agee has good power, hit 24 home runs in 1970. You want to avoid his 3 column. You want to, for the home runs, you want to definitely go to his 1 column and, of course, the 6 column on the pitcher. So here goes. Runner on first. The Mets down to the last out. It's 3-1 Pirates. Top of the 9th inning. Tommy Agee with good power at the plate. And here is the pitch. And that is a column 3, which is what you wanted to avoid. And an 8 is strike 3. Ball game over. And the Pirates beat the Mets here in opening day using the 1970 classic out of production basic set from Strat-O-Magic. We went to the old cards, the old style cards. As you can see, we use those instead of the D20 just to kind of channel the early 70s and so forth. But the Pirates beat Tom Terrific. He loses the first game of the season. The win is going to go to Steve Blass, who goes a complete game. Both pitchers went a complete game. Seaver went 8 innings. Blass went 9 innings. Blass struck out, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not too shabby. And Seaver struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, with another presentation of a classic game from the 70s, Strat-O-Magic. Watch out for my other videos. Subscribe and like. And coming up pretty soon is going to be the Sports Illustrated baseball game from the early 70s as well. Take care.